is Saturday night, and you know what you are watching? You are watching the ANDsemble Improv Extravaganza with one of the most brilliant. I love this cast so much. We have Michael Coyne, we have Bonita Elery, we have Kristine Niven, I got Michael Lawler, I got Rose Zingale, I got Mark Hudson, and I got Emmanuel Elpenord. And you know what? Who could ask for anything more? And the first thing we're going to do for you tonight is a game called Goon River. Oh, is it a game? It's far more serious than a game, especially on Halloween. So we are going to meet the inhabitants of a very small town called Goon River. And the Goon River was going through a big change. Can I please have a big event in the life of a small town? Any of you guys can shout out a big event in the life of a small town. You can shout that thing. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
New post office.
New post office. Are you okay with that? Are you okay that she took a little bit of pressure off you there, Kristine? It's all good.
It's a big event.
Thank you.
Tonight, the new post office. And let me tell you something about the residents of Goon River. This was a contentious issue. Some people were for the new post office, and some people were decidedly against it. So, I don't know why it's but some people were against it, and it was a really contentious issue. There was a lot of friction in the town of Goon River because of the new post office. So I'm going to go ahead now and start chatting with the inhabitants of Goon River and talking about that time, long ago when there was a new post office. Hey, I'm going to start with you, Anastasia DeVoe. It's nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
Greetings. Yes. Once I heard that there was going to be a new post office, I was totally against it. What happened to pigeon carriers like we used to do in the olden days? That's what I like, pigeon carriers for my gentlemen callers.
Oh, you have gentlemen callers. Other than having gentlemen callers, what else do you do?
Well, I'm a very famous Hollywood actress. However, I've been on retirement because I've stumped my big toe on set. So therefore, I am the neighborhood gossip queen.
Oh, you're keeping the drama, but now it's off the stage. All right,
Yes.
Great. Okay. Peter T. Huggins, I believe is your name. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I own the scooter shop up on the hill, and I always have problems getting mail up there. So I'm completely for this post office. I think they need new staff in the town, and it'll bring many jobs.
That makes a lot of sense. Annie Fanny, that's a lovely name. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Annie Fanny, and I work at the bar or the saloon, whatever you prefer to call it, and I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea because I don't have enough business and I need more people coming into my saloon. So I think it's a good idea. It will drum up more business. So I'm for it.
Wonderful. The saloon. That's wonderful. That's a saloon. Hey, Charlie Rumpleton. What a terrific name. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I am so thrilled about the new post office because we're selling like crazy at the hardware store. They're always running low on parts over there. I mean, new boxes, there's metal fittings, there's washers, there's hoses. Oh my gosh, it's been a mint. So I am thrilled. Go post office.
Go post office. Wow, you're very excited about that. Hello, Clara Barton. Tell us about yourself.
As the postmistress, I am unfortunately not really happy with this new event that's happening. I am horrified that we're sharing a building with the saloon, for one thing, and for another, I think we need more human beings working in the post office rather than this electronic stuff where they sort things I'm not for that.
Oh, you're not for that. All right.
No,
Interesting turn of phrase, postmistress.
thank you.
I have no comment other than that. Randall Bastings. Randall Bastings. Nice to meet you. Tell us about yourself.
Yes, lovely to meet you too. I am the town sheriff here in Goon River, and I am greatly against this new post office opening in conjunction with the bar. We're having crime issues in the area, and I figure more business, more traffic in that part of town can only mean trouble.
Mhm.
And the police, you guys sheriffs are always looking for trouble. I know that. And last but certainly not leastly, Craig Rock. Craig Rock. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Craig Rock. I'm the town's last soda jerk. I'm against the post office because all forms of communication is sinful, similar to the Tower of Babel story in the Bible.
Because just to make sure that I understand, all forms of communication are sinful.
This right now is a venial sin.
Okay, mail is a venial sin. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll stop by for a soda. All right, let's talk about the day before the post office. Some of you were for, and some of you were against. So I'd like to talk about the day before the post office opened, who you were with, and what you were doing. Let's start with Charlie.
Well, I had gotten a yes from Miss Clara to have lunch. She was so busy with the new opening, but I talked her into it. We developed this rapport. I've been over so much helping her with screws and bolts and little fittings here and there. And I bought her lunch and we had an amazing time. She was real concerned, though. She thought that Craig Rock might cause some trouble. He'd been snooping around outside. She'd seen him on the cameras. So she asked me to keep a special eye on Craig Rock.
Okay, let's check in on Clara. I understand that you had a lovely lunch and then you helped her with her fitting and screws. Clara, tell me about that. Charlie says that you two were together and that you saw Craig. What were you doing?
We absolutely had lunch together. That is absolutely true. I'm a little disconcerted there, Charlie, that you let that cat out of the bag. I thought that was like totally private. But as long as it's out there, yes, we were concerned about Craig. We were very concerned about Craig. We watched him and we have called Randall on him. And I know that Randall spoke to him.
Okay, let's go to Craig first. Sure, Craig, I understand that you've had some dealings with Clara and Charlie and possibly even Randall. What were you doing the day before?
The sinners are always concerned with the works of the prophet.
Sure.
I had been working at my soda jerkery store, serving root beer to children, and also whiting out all the magazines around.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, I decided to check out where they would be putting this godforsaken postal area.
Oh.
I looked for any weak structural points and then immediately went home, where I was accosted by the sheriff for phone calls I had made to associates regarding plastic explosives.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's important information. Thank you for tossing that in. Randall, basically, I understand that Craig and you had a plastic. What the hell?
Well, this is the culmination of months of investigation. I'll have you know. Unfortunately, in Goon River, there's a circle of children, a scooter gang from scooters purchased at Huggins Scooters, sure. And they're fueled with the sugary rage from the root beers of Craig Rock, the cult leader of the Soda Jerk gang, and come to find they were snooping around the construction grounds of the new post office. Now, granted, I've said it publicly, I'm against the post office. I think it's a bad idea, but if it's what serves the people, I'm obliged to protect. And so through my investigation, I find Craig Rock has what it seems like bad intentions for the post office. I have mixed feelings.
Well, yeah, you would. That sounds like everything was kind of dangerous. Let's go over to Peter and talk to him about selling scooters to juvenile delinquents. I understand, Peter, that you've had some problems with the law. Can you tell us about the day before the post office opened?
Well, I opened my store at 9 a.m., just like every day. And, these boys and girls in this so-called gang, they've purchased scooters, with no problem from me before. But then, it was weird. I got this phone call suddenly, and it was very, very threatening. This was around maybe like 9:45. I had just had my egg sandwich. And I get on the phone and I say, Huggins Scooters, this is Peter. And I hear, we're gonna bomb you if you don't help us bomb the post office. And I screamed and I hung up the phone and I immediately called Randall. And I didn't know what else to do.
All right. I'm going to check in when the two people that I think should probably hear the most, the most scuttlebutt. First is Anastasia. You're the gossip queen, so you know what's going on. Can you tell me what you were doing the day before the post office opened and who you were with?
There's nothing that goes on in this town that I don't know about. Now, I had just left Peter T. Higgins. I had just bought a Vespa, and I zoomed on over to Craig Rock so I could have my Le Croix. I like my lime Le Croix. And little does anyone know, but Craig Rock is my son. And we have been devising a plan to burn this so-called post office down to the ground. I told him everything he knows. Meanwhile, I was on my way over to Annie Fanny's saloon to let her know all the biz before it actually happens.
Well, let me go to Annie, because I think if the post office burns down, that directly affects her. Annie?
Yes, it does. Well, I was very disappointed to hear this information, and I was just so distraught. And now, I want to be fair to everybody. I know a lot of people don't like this idea of the saloon and the post office and all of that, but I special ordered some root beer soda, so that all the children, when they're on their scooters and they come running around in the afternoon, they can come to the saloon. Why, they can come to the saloon and have a nice, cool root beer soda. And there's lots of things that we serve. It's just not only whiskey and beer and bad wine. I mean, we have lots of other cool refreshments too. Why, I even have some iced tea in there for some of the people in the afternoon. So I was just trying to be fair, and I had a special order of that root beer soda being delivered, and I was working through all the mechanics, and I had some new equipment put in there that was very difficult to take care of. I didn't really quite know how to do it, and I had like a wrench thing, one of those things that the root beer soda was spilling all over the place, and I was trying to clean it up. So that's what was happening to me that afternoon.
What an awful afternoon. I'm sorry that happened to you. All right. This will take your mind off a bit. Let's talk about the day that the post office opened and what happened to all of you. I'm sorry to dredge up any bad memories. With you, what happened to you that day when the post office opened?
Well, I can tell you,
Oh,
quite frankly,
well,
that I was not happy with it opening.
sure. Oh, did I miss you?
No,
Did I? Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I miss you about the day before?
no, we did the day before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, let's start with you then, Clara. Tell me about the day that it happened.
Well, I thought that I should be first since I am the postmistress
Okay, that makes
and it's my facility, you know?
sense.
Although it is no longer my facility since it was blown up. And I was opening the door when it totally blew and I was killed.
You just opened the door and it blew up?
Yes. Yes.
Did you hear anything as you opened the door, like clicking or ticking or anything?
I heard some very clicking, like tick, 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 boom. That's what it did.
So
Took
just
me right out.
for those of you watching at home, if you turn a knob and you hear click, tick, 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 duck, I guess. I am so sorry that happened to you. Okay.
You're not the only one.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, I'm just checking in with you, Craig Rock. Can you actually hear me when I talk? You can. Oh, you can. Thinking maybe you need to dial down whatever it is kind of prescription you're on. So Clara got blown up. What happened to you that day, Craig?
I had arranged for the plastic explosive to be sent to the saloon. See, the funny thing is, the secret ingredient to all root beer is C4. I took out my phone and pressed the button and watched it all blow up.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the children in the beer cults that I had cultivated saw that I was using a telephone, the most sinful of all communicative devices.
Oh no.
And they came upon me with little sharpened sticks and razor scooters that were refashioned into battle axes from the 18th century. They chopped me into pieces and strew my remains all across Goon.
That seems kind of fitting for you. I would think you'd actually be kind of happy about it.
Oh, I was very, very happy.
I can see on your face. Randall Bastings, tell us what happened to you that day. Because you're the police officer. I would assume you ran to where the explosion was, but what happened?
As it happens, the morning before the grand opening of the post, I figured with all the new developments, the C4 the discoveries, I thought we'd stake out the construction site the morning of. We'd set up surveillance around the area.
Sure.
And as it happens, the root beer scooter gang cornered me before the post office opened.
Oh.
In the back, everything had been set up. I'd finally come back to the surveillance trailer, and there they were waiting for me with their 18th century battle axe scooters.
Terrible.
And they had their way with me before ending my life, leaving me in a bloody pool. Before my life faded away from me, I did hear the explosion of what I assume was the post office in the distance.
That's awful. So Clara, that's why you didn't get any kind of warning, because Randall had already been hacked to death. Oh,
It happens.
it happens. It totally happens. Hey, Charlie Rumpleton, can you tell us what happened to you that day, please?
Well, sure. I'd gone into Annie's to get myself a glass of iced tea before I was going to see Miss Clara. I brought myself a little bouquet of a dozen roses to offer her and celebrate her opening. And Annie had mentioned that her root beer was leaking all over the floor. And so I stopped to help her, and I wanted to help Annie out. So it was a real quick fix. I got that. But I noticed when I was walking away that I had gotten root beer all over the heel of my shoe. And I turned the corner and I saw Craig he was gone. He was slashed. It was awful. And then the idea hit me. He had told me that root beer was full of C4. And just then I saw Clara reaching to open the door and I leaped to stop her. Clara, don't! And that door just cut me in half.
Wow, at least you died together. There's that. Oh, that's sad. Hey, Annie,
Yes.
you hopefully weren't anywhere near that. I have this.
What happened was like I had gotten up very, very early that morning and I was making some iced tea. I was making iced tea before I tried to figure out how to fix the root beer soda machine. And I was so happy that I had several pitchers of perfect iced tea in my refrigerator. And Charlie came in, and I gave Charlie some of the iced tea. And then after he left, I went to try to see if it was really fixed, because it looked a little bit shaky. Didn't look like it was really all that tight. So I tried to turn the root beer soda machine on, and it exploded. It exploded, and all those the pipes hit me in the head, and actually the thing, the spigot, the thing that the root beer soda comes out of, that flew into the air and went right through my skull.
Oh, that's awful.
It went right through my skull and came out the other way, and that's how I died.
Oh, wow. So root beer, it's not just deadly because it's made of C4, but also because it's under pressure. Wow. I had no idea it was that dangerous. Peter T. Huggins, I believe that what happened to you that day? Because
Well, I was really excited. I wanted to mail one of my bills that I needed to pay off, and I wanted to go in person to this post office that was opening, and maybe go by Annie's saloon and get a drink afterwards. And my place is at the top of a hill.
sure.
And I have this ritual where I hop on my sweet upgraded Razor Blade 3000 scooter,
Yeah.
and I go down my hill and I hit a curb and I can get some really great air, right? And around the time I was enjoying the wind going through my hair down the hill, about to hit some sweet air, and I hear this huge boom, and I look in the direction of it, and I forgot that to stop, and a big old bus just ran me right over and splattered me all over the intersection.
That is bad timing. So because of the explosion, you lost. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Now, I have my fingers crossed. I really do. Because Anastasia with her stubbed toe, I'm hoping that maybe you didn't die in this terrible. Tell us what happened, or maybe you did. I don't know what happened.
Well, I was just leaving Annie's and I had a root beer float, but everyone in this town knows that I like vodka with my root beer float. I was on my way to see my baby boy, Craig, so we could finish this bomb. And that's when I heard the explosion and I saw bodies everywhere. And that's when I saw my boy's head. And I thought, oh, the terror. And I lost control of my Vespa. And somehow my toe, I couldn't get the brakes to stop. And I went head on into the explosion and I turned into a gulf of flames and I went straight to hell, and that's where I am now.
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, thank you so much for taking time off of your busy hell schedule. And thank you all for coming and visiting and telling us about that day in Goon River. And thank you for watching, because this is the Ensemble and their Improv Extravaganza night. And we're going to be back with more improv in just a few minutes. You hang in there. We got more for you.